What is up, my beautiful weebs, otakus, whatever you want to be called that you know of anime? Sorry if you hear some background sounds. My mom just got back from the store. But let's start. What if Deku was corrupted? Now, in this AU, Hisashi never left. And Hisashi Midori was actually a crime gang leader of a organization called the Corrupted Cobra. Now, this Hisashi Midoriya's quirk was that anybody he touched within, or the ground he touched within a 12-mile radius, he could make them a part of his crew, I guess, if you want to call it that. Like, they become a dark, corrupted version of themselves. Like, they start to turn purple. They have no sense of emotions. They're just there to serve. So, Deku goes with Inko at first, and he says, "Mom, will I get a quirk?" Inko says, "I don't know, sweetie. Not yet. I don't know." They walk in, and the doctor then says, "Sorry, kid. You don't have one." Deku's knees begin to get weak from his tears. His knees get so weak to the point where they fall to the ground, dragging Deku with it. He falls, clenching his chest, saying, "No, that can't be. It can't be. Quirkless." The doctor then says, "Well, the machines weren't working right today, so come back another day." Hey, come back? Actually, you can come back tomorrow. The machines weren't working so good anyway today. Deku takes a big gulp and then leaves with Inko. The next day, he comes with a Hisashi instead of Inko. Hisashi does have a mask on, though, so they wouldn't know it's the gang leader. Deku walks in, and the doctors come out with the results. "Sir, your child's quirk is called numb corpse. Numb corpse. Anybody he touches, he can turn them into basically husk of themselves. They are only to serve him, and his quirk can get stronger, but he has to directly touch that person. They also turn purple, and it's kind of weird." Deku is happy, but also freaked out by his own quirk. Deku, upon the years, is being taught to use his quirk by his father. And he was never bullied because one time as a kid, Bakugo went up to go bully him with the other kids. One of the kids tries to throw a punch at Deku. Deku caught the punch. The kid turned into a corpse's husk. Deku then said, "Don't ever come near me again." Bakugo Katsuki, looking Bakugo dead in his eye. This person, Deku then told the corpse or husk, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to call it a corrupted version of the person to kill himself. The kid then killed himself. That was actually kind of dark, I'm not going to lie. But, Deku was taught to use his quirk. At the age of 15, Deku would finally take over his dad's gang. However, the gang members were still not a part of his crew anymore. So his dad told him, "Deku, I want you to prove to me to get your own gang. You make them. I don't want to hand you my whole empire over. I can hand you my buildings, things of the gangs and stuff, but I'm not going to hand you my people. That is for you to make." Deku passes Todoroki and accidentally bumps into him. Todoroki activates his ice. Deku then says, "That's a fancy quirk you got there." Also, the reason Todoroki immediately activated his ice because when Todoroki saw where Deku just came from, which is bodies on top of bodies. So Deku then says, "That's an interesting quirk you got there. Would you mind to join my crew?" Todoroki screams, "No," and then just burst out ice from his his right feet. I think that's where his ice comes from. His right. Yeah. He burst out ice from his right feet, and it almost consumes Deku. Now, the thing about Deku's quirk, it doesn't just have to be ice. This part is basically Shigaraki's quirk. Anything he touches just decays. It's because it corrupts itself so much till it just turns into ashes. The ice almost consumes Deku's full body until Deku lays one hand on the ice. The ice then just slowly corrupts. Like the tip that was on Deku, like the parts that was on Deku goes first, then it slowly takes over the rest of the ice. He then quickly runs next to Todoroki. He gets behind Todoroki and then says, I'll just have to take you by force then. Deku touches Todoroki. Todoroki's white hair goes purple. Oh, and the red part of Todoroki's hair goes black. Todoroki drops to the ground, clenching in the middle of his chest, before his veins start to turn purple, and his skin as well starts to turn purple. His eyes start to go black, and the pupil turns red. Todoroki walks up. He then bows. Lord Deku, what am I to do? Deku smirks. Nothing. Just follow me. Todoroki gets up from the ground, which he was bowing at Deku from. He then starts to follow Deku. Deku claims 2 more people, which these people are, yes, they are main characters. Well, they're not main characters, but they're part of Class 1A, Kirishima, which is basically Deku's shield. And I'm going to say the other person he claims will not be as big, so maybe like, let's say he takes Tokiyami, even though Tokiyami is kind of big, I'm not going to lie. But let's say he takes Tokiyami and what was the other person I said? Kirishima, there you go. So he is Todoroki. Also, here's a description of what they kind of look like now. Tokiyami is a purple bird now. His eyes are black, full black, with not even his pupil is purple. Well, his little cape thing that he has on, which is basically his hero suit, but now it's his villain suit, is purple at the end, like the tips of, like the ragged part at the bottom of the cape is like, that's purple, but the rest is just black, and the rest just covers up his body. Also, ominous purple mist comes from the bottom of his cape, so like nobody sees his feet or anything. Also, his dark shadow is bigger. Also, yeah, when he touches somebody and they become corrupted, their quirk becomes stronger now. So his bird is way bigger. It's like buff boy bird now of a shadow. It's bigger, it's longer, and it has darker yellow eyes. However, the color of it stays, it's still black. Meanwhile, Kirishima is full dark purple. Well, his eyes are full black except the pupils, which are purple. His quirk is stronger to where he can, like, remember that one arc with Rappa and him versus Kirishima? So that's the level Kirishima's on right now. He's like on unbreakable level already. So he could probably take like 18 of Rappa's punches right now. So yeah. But he can basically tank a truck like it's nothing. He is way stronger as well, and he can form his arms into things that protecting people. Like he can form his arms into full-on shields, basically. And yeah, that's really it with Kirishima. Also, he just has like a lower belt on and pants. That'd be weird, but nothing else on. Not even shoes. Man, walking around, just stepping on rocks. But Todoroki, I already said what he looked like. So basically his flames are way hotter. They're also purple. And his ice stays the same color, but they're like if his ice was to touch you, you'd fully be frozen now. Ow. So yeah. So UA raid. This still in this, instead of them raiding UA to find more people to serve under Lord Deku, but no, they actually, it's still the LOV who attacks, but in the middle of the battle, oh, the gang pops in. Walls crumble. Also, there's more members besides these people, but those people are basically like the commanders. Like, there's 100 civilians that Deku would have touched. Slash, when I mean 100, I mean 100 civilians that Deku has touched, and they're under his control, and they're like Lord Deku and all that. But those are basically the main people, like the commanders. So yeah, but Deku just raids 100. All 100 of his men go to attack the UA students. The UA students are probably taken down 10 at a time. Deku then says, "Ch, Tokiyami." Tokiyami nods and jumps into the air. Dark Shadow leaps down at the kids. Bakugo then says, "Ch, you need some bird to take me out. Think again." Letting off a massive explosion. Not only the light hurts Tokiyami and his bird, the full sheer explosion that just knocks down Tokiyami to the ground. Tokiyami tries to get back up but fails. He then says, "Come on, Tokiyami, I know you can do better." Deku clenches his fist and Tokiyami's eyes glow purple. Tokiyami then gets back up easier. But this time, when Bakugo lets off a full sheer explosion, Tokiyami just tanks it and then runs at Bakugo. Bakugo then leaps into the air with his explosions. He's like, not that easily. He then goes to turn his head to see Todoroki right next to him. Todoroki lets off a sheer ice explosion in Bakugo's face. Bakugo's whole head is being frozen. Bakugo drops to the ground, but when he hits the ground, the impact of the hit causes the ice to destroy. But then, an attack is about to come from, what's that guy's name? Sato. You know, the guy who, when he eats sugar, he gets stronger. He had like 4 packs of sugar, which means he could probably hit one of these people like Tokiyami, and Tokiyami would just be out like a light. But instead, when he's about to destroy Todoroki's stomach, Kirishima gets in the way and blocks it. Is that all you got? Kirishima then puts out his fist and BAM! Just hits Sato right in his face. Sato is not able to get back up and just lays on the ground saying, "Sugar, sugar." They're all weirded out by this. Ochako then leaps into action by touching her feet, kicking Todoroki down, then goes straight for Deku as she sees that he seems to be their leader. Deku has nothing but his hands in his pocket, and Kirishima blocks in the way. Deku then goes to touch Ochako, but instead of corrupting her, it instead decays her. He then says, I guess that means you're just not worthy of it. He almost kills Ochako if not for Aizawa. Aizawa stops Deku's quirk, and Deku then says, "Guys, it's time to go. We got what we needed anyway." Now, their objective was to lower down the UA students as well as kidnap a little someone. Not Bakugo. He's been kidnapped too much times. Alright, I might have lied. They did kidnap Bakugo. But they take him to the gang base, and this is where I'm going to end it. Hope you guys enjoyed.